If you are sick and tired of people telling you to post Substack Notes to grow, but nobody is actually showing you what you are supposed to do, this video is for you. Here's the part almost nobody says out loud about notes. Most of us came to Substack to get off the toxic likes treadmill on social media. You were tired of performing for Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. Tired of an algorithm that rented you an audience and never let you own it. Tired of doing free work for reach that vanished in a day. Then you open Substack Notes and it feels like you got dragged right back onto the social media treadmill. Same feed, same little hearts, the same social media game. At least it seems that way. But notes are not social media, and the moment you treat them like they are, you lose the thing that makes Substack actually worth it. A predictable way to grow your audience that's actually yours. So let me be honest with you. Likes don't pay you. Paid members do. And the problem is that most people are using notes to collect the first, while their subscriber count barely moves forward. At Untitled Scale, we have helped thousands of creators grow on Substack, and notes are where the fastest starts happen, if you use them to pull the right people into your universe instead of performing for likes only. So let me show you exactly how to write notes that turn strangers into subscribers, even if you are starting from zero right now. This is the kind of growth Instagram, X, or LinkedIn will never give you. So first things first, let's talk about why notes matter so much, because this is the part that changes how you use them. On Substack, discovery has moved over the past 2 years. In the past, all you could do on Substack was publish an article and hope that it reaches a few new people. Now, most new readers find you inside the app, and in particular in the notes feed. And this isn't some small side channel. Substack's own CEO has said that the app drives about half of all the subscriptions on the platform right now, and more than a third of all paid subscriptions come through the app as well. So notes are not a nice to have anymore. They are the front door to your work. Now the problem is that most people misunderstand how the discovery actually happens. They assume it works like other social channels. You post, you collect likes, and if enough people like it, the algorithm rewards you with reach. But that's not exactly how Substack works. According to Substack's own team, your notes are shown first to the people who already subscribe or follow you. That's your existing relationships. But the more interesting part is what happens next. When another creator is recommending your publication, your notes can show up for their readers as well. When you reply to or restack a bigger creator in your space, their audience can find you. Discovery on Substack runs through recommendations and real connections, not just through raw likes. And that's the whole reason Substack can grow your email list in a way Instagram or LinkedIn never could. Instagram's feed is built to keep you scrolling so it can sell ads against your attention. Substack's feed, on the other hand, is built to connect readers with the writers they will actually subscribe to and pay for. On Substack, you are not the product. Your readers are the customers, and the whole system is designed to turn a stranger in the feed into someone who subscribes to you, because that's the only way Substack makes money. So your job with every note is not just to win a like, it's to make that first bump lead somewhere meaningful. Now here's the distinction that changes everything, and almost nobody talks about it. There are actually two kinds of notes, and most people only ever post one of them. The first kind is the note that gets shared. It gives away all of its value inside the note itself. It's basically complete as it is. People read it, they like it, maybe they restack it, and then they move on because they already got everything they needed. This kind of note is great for reach, but it's weak for subscriptions. The second kind, on the other hand, is the note that earns a subscriber. It's a little bit incomplete on purpose. It still hands someone real value, but it also makes them think, who is this person? I want to know more. So they click on your name, they land on your profile, and they subscribe. This is exactly why you can post a note that gets 500 likes and almost no new subscribers, while someone else posts a quieter note that gets 40 likes and brings in dozens of new subscribers. The loud one gave everything away right away. The quiet one left a reason to dig a bit deeper and commit to the creator. Now you need both kinds of notes, but if every note you post is the first kind, your like count might keep climbing while your subscriber count barely moves. So the question is, how do you actually write that second kind of note, the one that earns you a subscriber and not just a like? And before I break down the entire structure, if you you want a head start, we've put together a free resource called the Substack Starter Kit, and it has a whole section just on writing notes. It walks you through the 4 things that separate a note people scroll past from a note that actually pulls them in. It's completely free, and the link is in the description box below for you to get access. Now, the structure I use is simple: hook, shift, landing. The hook is your first line. You've got about 2 seconds before someone keeps scrolling in the feed, so you want to make the opening of your note specific and even a little surprising. Numbers in the first line usually buy you an extra second. The shift is the turn in the middle. This is a story, a lesson, or the thing you learned that most people in your space get wrong. This is where you actually deliver value so that the note earns its attention instead of feeling like a bait. And the landing is your last line. This is the part almost everyone ignores, and it matters more than the rest because the last line is what's sitting in the reader's head at the exact moment they decide whether they click on your name and subscribe. Most people bury their sharpest line somewhere in the middle, but you want to move it to the end so that it really lands. So it's actually really simple: hook, shift, landing. The hook earns the read, the shift earns the trust, and the landing earns the click. Now let me make this repeatable because just write a good note is not advice that you can actually use. So here are a few formats that consistently pull subscribers, not just likes. And you want to rotate through them so your feed doesn't start to feel like a broken record. The first one is the reintroduction. Most people who see your notes don't follow you yet, so telling them who you are is not a repetition, it's discovery. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. The wrong way makes it all about you by saying something like, "I just hit a milestone, so grateful, come check out my page." It's kind of giving LinkedIn vibes already. Nobody cares about your milestones unless you make it about them. Even if you talk about yourself, you can always tie it back to your reader. For example, you can say something like, "Hi, I'm Maya. If you're a high earner who somehow still hits the end of every month with nothing saved, I write about the money systems that actually work when you are too busy to budget. One new idea a week, no shame, no spreadsheets that you will never open." This type of note names who it's for, what they will get, and it even gives them a real reason to subscribe right away. The second one is the personal story with a real number. Here you share one specific moment tied to a specific result. It could be something like, 3 summers ago, every tomato plant I owned died by July. This year I picked 40 pounds off the same 4 plants. The only thing that changed is when I watered them, not how much. The number makes it real, and the lesson leaves them wanting the rest of the story. The third one is the quick fix. You solve one small, specific problem in just a few lines so that people think, "I need more of this." This could be something like, "If bedtime is a nightly battle with your toddler, try this. Instead of announcing it's bedtime, give them a choice instead of a routine. For example, do you want to brush your teeth or put on your pajamas first?" They get to feel in control and you still get them into bed. Kids fight the plan, they rarely fight their own choice. It's a small problem, it's a real solution, and it's easy to read in just a few seconds. And the fourth one is the value first note, where you either give something away or you point the spotlight at someone else. Now this one usually gets taught as introduce yourself and tag everyone to share their work, which quickly turns into clickbait because it only really works if you are already in the money-making niche. So here's an alternative version that works in most niches. You genuinely hand over something useful, or you genuinely champion someone whose work has helped you. If you are a coach on burnout, share the exact 2-question check-in you run with your clients for free, no opt-in. If someone in your field wrote something that changed how you work, tell your readers to go read it and why. Generosity earns you reach and subscribers at the same time, and it works whether you write about money, parenting, or data engineering. So pick a few of these formats, rotate them, and keep them human. You're not filling a quota here, you're just giving people enough reasons to want to hear from you again. Now let me be honest about the part that nobody really likes to talk about, because this is where most people quit. If you've been showing up consistently and you're still not seeing the results you want, I don't want you to give up. And I don't want you to assume you're doing something wrong. Because what you're actually trying to do here is build trust with real people. And building real trust takes time, even when you're doing everything right. Creators with a huge audience love to make it sound like you'll magically reach millions if you just press the right buttons, but that's not true, and it's honestly less true now than ever before. Everything is faster right now. AI-generated content is everywhere, and it's genuinely harder than it's ever been to get a stranger to trust you. That's true for who we let into our lives, and it's just as true for whose writing we actually read and pay for on the internet. So let me tell you what the honest version looked like for me. I showed up for almost 2 years and published over 150 long-form articles before it finally clicked and I understood what to actually change. And here's the part that matters most. Consistency on its own is not the answer, because if you consistently do the wrong things, you can show up for years and still go nowhere. What actually moves you forward is consistency plus iteration. Learning what's working, getting real feedback, and adjusting as you go. You show up, you look at what's landing, you change one thing, and then you go again. And that feedback loop is the single biggest reason our coaching clients grow so much faster than other creators. They don't spend years guessing their way through Substack. They find out what to change right now. So if you'd rather not do all of that guessing on your own, that's exactly what we do inside our Substack Accelerator. We work with coaches, consultants, and experts who want to turn their publications into a real business asset. If this sounds like a fit, head over to substackcoaching.com and fill out our application form right away. Now there's one final principle I really want you to hold on to. Notes are not a place to collect applause. They are the front door to your universe, and the entire job is to get the right people through that door. So write for the click, not just for the like. Give people real value, but always leave them a reason to dig deeper and find out more about who you are. Rotate a few of those formats, land your last line, and keep going through the quiet stretches. And don't just show up blindly. Show up, pay attention to what's already working, and adjust as you go. Consistency gets you in the game, but consistency plus honest feedback is what actually gets you results, so you're not spending 2 years doing the wrong thing on repeat. Get this right, and notes will stop feeling like busy work and start becoming the reason your email list grows, especially when you have the right system and the right support by your side. So now you know how to use notes to turn strangers into subscribers and actually grow your list. But here's something a lot of creators discover the hard way. Growing your list and making money from it are two completely different things. You can bring in hundreds of new subscribers and still make almost no money, and it's usually not because your content is bad or your list is too small. So I made a whole video on why your Substack isn't making money and the small, painful, but fixable mistakes that keep publications stuck. You'll see exactly why revenue is almost never a traffic problem and what to change so the right people don't just subscribe, but they actually pay. I'll see you there.